ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. Said, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on what is a much warmer evening here in the Chicagoland area, as we have been telling you guys every night on the air. It has been quite chilly for it to be May here in the great state of Illinois. But today it actually got warmer, and it's supposed to get warmer over the weekend. This is our Friday. So glad that you guys are here tonight. It is Relationship Thursday, and coming up on the show this evening, we'll welcome a gentleman who's from Houston, Texas. He is a self-proclaimed relationship advice guy, but what I like about him more than anything, he's a real, everyday, real brother, Mr. Terry Duran, and he'll be here tonight to talk about dating flaws, having flaws in your dating. I notice everybody, and I'm going to introduce our co-host in a second. I'm going to make this point, and then maybe we can kick this off a little bit. Everybody nowadays is looking for high quality. Everybody is looking for people who are not flawed. Everybody wants perfection. But Kay Renee, you and I both know that's a hot mess served on a cracker with horseradish sauce on top of it. Ladies and gentlemen, our co-host, Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge, our girl over there in the co-host seat. What happened, babe? How you doing?
I'm good. Happy Friday to you, Kat. Happy Friday to our viewing audience tonight. And yes, I've learned in my older age that I don't look for perfection. I look for excellence. And there's a difference.
Ooh, that's deep though. That's deep. So wait a minute. You don't look for perfection. You look for excellence. So, I can't wait to have a relationship conversation. I want to know, how is excellence going for you though? You know, are you meeting your expectations?
Well, here's the thing. I've not put the energy out, let's say, Art, to say, you know what, I want to meet someone.
Right.
My priority is a little bit different now.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, and I've dated, I mean, my tribe knows online dating. I was the queen of online dating. I did online dating before it became popular, especially in this pandemic. So I've learned I'm not looking for excellent. I mean, I'm looking for perfection, because all of us are not perfect. But I do look for excellence. All of us can be excellent in whatever we do. And that's what I look for.
Okay. All right. Well, I look for, I should say perfection, because we should be speaking in positive terms. I don't know if I'm looking for excellence, for the simple reason is I don't know if I'm excellent at all times. I feel like I'm a work in progress. I feel like there are things I can improve on, change, make different. As you spoke about this pandemic brought on a new level of consciousness, a new level of how do you better maneuver a situation to best fit you. And so I don't know if I could ever strive for excellence ever again. I used to want excellence. Excellent was the perfect house, picket fence, the station wagon, the loving, doting mate. Now, I don't know if I want that as much anymore.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's coming up on tonight's show, Relationship Thursday. Do me a favor. Tell somebody the Real Chat Daddy Show is on Facebook, YouTube. You can always find us. Encore shows are there as well, too. All right. So, Kay Renee, I don't even know where we should get started today. I was thinking maybe we offer condolences first to the Staples family. Mr. Purvis Staples, co-founding member of the legendary Staples Singers, has died, according to a Rolling Stones report, as well as it was reported on local television here in Chicago. Staples' death was confirmed to Rolling Stone by Adam Ayers, members of the Staples management team. He died in his home in Dalton, Illinois on May 6th, but then I had heard reports that it was Mother's Day, but I think it was May 6th. Cause of death was not announced, and he was 85 years old.
Wow.
Right. Isn't that something?
Wow.
The Staples Singers were formed by their dad, Robert Pop Staples, in 1948. And, his sisters, they were his band members. And of course, his wonderful sister, Mavis Cleophas, Cleotha and Yvonne, who have Mavis, I think, is the only one left now. Am I correct on that?
I believe so, yes. And
Yeah,
I had an opportunity to meet Mavis years ago, and
she's
just a
amazing.
beautiful soul. So, my prayers go out to her and his family.
Hmm.
Just when you said 85, I said,
85.
wow.
Yes,
I
85
would
years
have
old.
never imagined that at all.
Right.
But, time does march on. So again, prayers go out to Mavis and the rest of his family.
Absolutely. Well, as you all know, the Staple Singers originally started off as gospel singers, and then they
Yes.
transitioned over into R&B, and then, of course, Mavis being an icon and legend that she
Mm,
is. And so, again, we do want to uplift the family in prayer and our deepest condolences. All right. Well, I
absolutely.
guess we'll get to the biggest announcement we have had, and I don't know when. And it was the announcement today where the CDC says that people who are fully vaccinated, that would be me, and that would be the young lady over there. Look, let me get it right. And many of you who've gotten vaccinated, we can now go indoors and outdoors without mask, and up to 500 people can be at outdoor weddings. So I know I put it out there on social media like, wait a minute, I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. And people have been chiming in saying the same thing. K. Renee, I'm going to let you take the wheel. I normally would say, Jesus, take the wheel, but I'm going to pass it to you first. Because to me, this is lunacy. It's too soon.
I spoke with you offline earlier today. 'Cause
Right.
yesterday, I did all my running around, and I actually was in the south suburbs in Orland Park, doing laundry and going. I went to the mall. I had not been to the Orland Park Mall in almost 2 years.
Oh, my God.
And I know, and it was so different. Of course, they have the stickers on the floor, to continue to practice social distancing. Um, and people are trying to do that. But as I was exiting the mall and I wanted to kind of relax, just enjoy, get that 15 minutes of sunshine, as Dr. Janet had reminded us,
Right, right.
I saw people walking in the mall with no mask. And
Mhm.
I shared this with you. I said there was a couple, elderly couple across from me. The lady was like, "Put your damn mask on," and I just was couldn't. And I knew she wasn't talking to me. She was talking to the gentleman with his party entering the mall. And her husband was like, "Baby, you can't do that." She's like hell I can.
Right,
And she's like, "I don't get it." And I agree with you, Art. It is too soon. There are people who are still dying. They may not announce it, but there's just I just don't get it. I will still be wearing masks until we reach 100% herd immunity. Will that happen? I hope so. Is it happening now? No, we have not reached 100% herd immunity, and it's really sad. When I was getting gas, to return the car, and folks not wearing masks, and they look at me like I'm the strange one. I'm like, I keep it moving because
right,
again, I love me too much, and we've gone through so much. How hard is it? I know it's been challenging to wear this mask here. It is not easy, right?
right,
But
right.
what are the consequences of it? What are the repercussions of not I a mask? I just feel the CDC may have missed the mark on this. I just don't. Even President Biden, I heard him say, yes, we're reaching certain goals, but he's even cautioning, like, y'all better wear a mask. So, the travel season is already upon us. Kids who were able to go outside of school, coming back, Memorial Day weekend is coming up, weddings, all this. And I'm just like, I'm just not comfortable. And, we've been talking about this, Art, all year long, that especially if you have a pre-existing condition, you've
Right.
got to take your health seriously. Period. So I'm going, even though it's uncomfortable at times and it's going to get hot, you don't want to wear a hot mask over your face. But what's the alternative? Not going to be in the
Well,
hospital. I will be wearing a mask until June-Vember 2025.
that's right. On this show, remember, ladies and gentlemen, our motto is we will be wearing masks until Juvember of 2025. Now, yes, we said that correctly. We said Juvember is spelled Juvember. And we know it's not on your calendar. We know it's not on your phone, any of that. We're talking to the president now on this show, trying to say to him, listen, by 2025, add Juvember to the calendar from there on out, because that's when I'm gonna start celebrating not wearing a mask. Now, K Renee, I'm gonna tell you, all last summer I wore masks, and so of course I bought all kind of cotton, linen masks. I have an array of masks, so I kind of want to get my money's worth out. So I will be wearing my mask continuously. And here's the deal. I feel more comfortable when I'm in a large public setting, like i.e. a big box store, i.e. the grocery store, any of those type of places. I'm still going to wear a mask because I don't want other people. I've seen people sneeze openly. I've seen people cough openly. I'm a germaphobe now. That's another thing. I will not stop using hand sanitizer, and I will forever be using Lysol on anything publicly that I've got to touch.
But think about this, Art. They're still building stores that have the sign, masks are required. So they haven't relinquished that yet. So to me, it's like, okay, even they know. Don't be so hesitant to not just wear a mask. But,
right.
People, the Bible says, choose this day whom you may serve. And it's your choice. But for me, every day is wearing her mask.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know. I just think things are moving awfully quick right now, very quickly. I think, it's we need to get our economy back on track. We need to get people back into positions and jobs. Yes. I get all of that, but I also am like, is this really the right thing to do this quick? And you're still begging people to come get the vaccine. Now, the governor announced today this partnership with Six Flags Great America, that they will now be giving away 50,000 free tickets for people to, if you prove that you've been vaccinated, you can go to Great America and enjoy the park for a day. Now, I'm trying to think, and no slight against Great America, because they could be a sponsor of this show, fingers crossed, potential, all of that. But who in the hell, if you against the vaccine and don't believe in it, you mean to tell me an amusement park ticket? See, that's to draw that young crowd in. That's to draw them teenagers in. Because I'm like, that does nothing for me. A free donut does nothing for me. I did it to be able to get back to normal and move forward with this world. What about you?
I think it's attracting not only the younger crowd, but a family. If a family of 4 goes to Great America, it's very expensive. Now, if the government said we're going to offer you $5,000 to take the vaccine, you're going to get a lot of people, because people were like, $5 grand?
Right.
Yeah, right. They'll do that. I have not been to Great America in almost over 30 years, so it doesn't appeal to me. But I think I agree with you, Art. It appeals to our millennial, our Gen Z people, but also families, because families love to go to Great America. It's a great outing, and of course, the park is so expansive, right? But we're incentivizing some things that really you would want to do,
right?
I have mixed feelings on that.
I do too. Now that you're trying to bribe people to get the shot, people who, are law-abiding citizens, people who, felt it was our duty to get the shot. You have to realize people have dealt with anxiety and depression. Keep in mind that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. People have dealt with loss of jobs, loss of family, loss of connecting with other people, intimacy, all of that. And we felt as if, listen, let me get this shot so life can get back to normal. Right. That's why I did it. But to now offer people a bunch of incentives to get it, I just don't know. I was watching the news today where one place is doing a lottery for $5,000. People put their name in this hat, and if you could get 5 G's if you're the person that got drawn. I know other places that are giving incentives. I don't know. It's weird. How are you feeling since you got the shot?
I will tell you this, I feel as if I get more sleepy. Right. I think I mentioned to you when I first received the shot, I experienced cold-like symptoms. I had a slight headache, and I just slept. The second time, I was just knocked out. I don't know what that was attributing to. Um, I feel more sleepy. Like today, I'm just like really sore. I just felt like, okay, I just need a nap. Um, but thankfully, I have not experienced any, crazy symptoms. I'm still, as I said, wearing the mask. I'm trying to get my eating habits better because I will say during the pandemic, before the vaccine was available to me, I was eating right. I was getting more movement in my body. I've kind of laxed myself, so I've got to get back into that routine. Um, I saw in your post that someone died from,
Yes.
COVID. And I just,
Yeah.
that's, to
Yes.
me, that's a reminder saying, people,
Right.
hello,
Yes. Yes.
you need to still be mindful.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, a good Facebook friend posted that they lost a family member, just 45 years old. Our condolences go out to that family, to
Hmm.
COVID-19. I was talking to someone earlier today who told me that someone who had received, they were fully vaccinated.
Hmm.
They are now battling COVID. And then I know a young lady who recently buried her mom, and she's now battling COVID. So, I
Wow.
mean, I don't know. And then again, these numbers have not decreased. Once Illinois has zero deaths and the case rates are at least under 1,000, I personally would love to see them eradicated, period. But
Right.
it's not. Illinois public health officials announced today 1,918 new confirmed or probable cases of COVID-19 in the state of Illinois. This includes, unfortunately, 35 additional fatalities. The Illinois Department of Public Health is now reporting a total of 1,361,666 cases. That's the sign of the devil right there,
Yeah.
including 22,320 deaths since the beginning of this pandemic. That, honey, if that ain't the sign of the devil right there, 1,361,666. That right there, I shouldn't even, right. That's scary. Right, right. Somebody fetch me my praying oil because that's a mess. Yeah, right. That's a mess. Right. Isn't that something? Right. I wonder if it's a rule like not to read those kind of numbers on the air or something. You know what I'm saying? For no, I mean,
Exactly.
Right.
Hey,
Hey,
Debbie,
Debbie
welcome
Green,
back.
we've been missing you, Debbie. Hey, we glad to
Yes.
be back. Hey, Debbie. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. And to travel abroad, you need proof that you've been
Yes,
vaccinated.
you
Right.
do.
Right. And
You do.
I'm trying to get in the air. So right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the air. I'm trying to catch flights, not feelings. Right. So,
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Kay Renee, let me see. What else do we need to talk about? Mary,
Uh,
huh? Go ahead.
we, this, Major League Baseball, two coaches were tested positive. Now MLB, because they're relying upon the CDC guidelines, they've been relaxing restrictions. Well, guess what? This is what happens when you relax restrictions. This happens, even though
Right.
they've been fully
Fully
vaccinated, but
vaccinated.
they've
Fully.
contracted by the COVID
Right.
19 virus. So you know, everyone has to now what scale back and say, all right, what we need to do. Because I think, Art, hopefully a future show that we can have not only Dr. Janet, but other doctors to talk about, okay, everyone's been vaccinated. You get COVID. Now what?
Right.
How do we react to it mentally,
Right.
emotionally? Because that can be just like, oh my goodness.
Because now let's look at it like this. You've not heard anybody mention having the flu. You've heard very few people having a cold. Matter of fact, Dr. Allison Arwadi today on the news was telling, she was doing an interview, and I guess over the weekend she thought she had gotten a cold or was not feeling well. She
Mm-hmm.
had a COVID test like Grubhub to her. She took it, it was negative, but she has a cold. But you've not heard anybody say the flu or cold lately, any of that. And I'm wondering, like, what happened to the flu? What happened to the common cold? Did this scare us so that we just was so afraid and we became so germaphobe that we kept ourselves clean? Well, I mean, what happened?
I think because we've had masks on too, because you think about when you catch a cold, all that air that you encounter. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but
Right.
I think that has been the reason why you haven't really heard about the flu. But
Right.
you think about what a flu is. Influenza is a virus.
Yes.
It's not in the same category as
Right.
COVID-19, but it is a virus.
It is. It is. It very much so is. It really, really
So
is. So I don't know. Okay. All right. Let's continue on with today's news stories. Mayor Lightfoot on Thursday said people who are fully vaccinated will not count towards capacity limit in Chicago starting this weekend. Restaurants and bars will be allowed to seat more than 10 people in a party who are vaccinated. The city has announced now here's the issue that I'm getting ready to have with this. You and I we both been vaccinated. We proved it on social media. I went and had a copy of my card done, laminated. I carry it with me everywhere I go. I have no problem with saying to you, ma'am or sir, or whatever your pronouns are, here's my card. You're gonna have people out here now lying. Oh, I'm vaccinated. Oh, I'm vaccinated. I'm
mhm.
to me it's a cocktail for disaster. Now that's
I
just my
agree.
thought on it. It's just my thought. What?
I agree. You're gonna have, and not only they're gonna lie about it, they'll get you. You've heard stories about people getting counterfeit COVID vaccination cards. So how do you really know if they truly been vaccinated?
Right.
Is there going to be a watermark like with like count like bills? You have the invisible
Right.
watermark to
Right.
determine real
Yes.
money from fake money. How you going to
Right.
determine that? You
Right.
can't.
You can't. You
You
cannot.
can't.
You cannot. So this
So
is one of them things where you have to trust the Lord.
yes,
You just have to hope that everybody is not a lying sack or you know what. And really because I mean it's a matter of life and death.
yes, it
Someone like
is.
myself who has a compromised immune system, and many
Right.
people. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about one of my fellow board members with Healthy Living with the Vision in just a little bit. People with compromised immune systems, we are at a greater risk, period, before this even came along. That's why we were
Exactly.
restricted from employment and had to stay home and all of that kind of stuff. So
Right.
I'm not getting why so soon, so fast. It's an economic thing. That's all it is. It's an
That's what it
economic
is. And
situation.
And we get it. We talked about it yesterday, Art, about, individuals in the food and beverage industry not coming back. I think I mentioned to you offline when I was at Orland Park, I visited a MAC cosmetic freestanding store.
Right.
And the young lady who gave me excellent service, by the way, she mentioned that she had to close early because the district manager of the MAC store has not communicated to her nor her colleagues in months, and their salary has been slashed in half, right? So she doesn't know each day when she's going to work. Who does
Well,
that?
well, that's funny you would say that. That's just like the Starbucks over here in the Chatham area. Before I left to go to Florida, they were working on some really weird hours at that Starbucks, almost like you had to call and ask them, y'all open? Y'all open?
Right,
And I couldn't
right.
get that because every time you go to that Starbucks, the drive through is always full. It's always
Mhm,
looping around.
mhm.
I've never seen a Starbucks that does not make money. You know what I'm saying? Or people are not in there purchasing products, things like that.
Right.
And the one on 87th in the Chatham area, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So hopefully their hours have been increased and they're able to give better service. But now the problem is you cannot find workers. Nobody wants to work.
And that's across the board. That's not just with, coffee or makeup. It's even at the good old post office.
Yeah, I know. Has that situation gotten any better for you?
Hell no. Even though,
And
even
I'm not
though,
laughing at you. I'm laughing with you now. I'm not
let,
laughing
let me
at you.
let me
Okay.
say this. Let me say this because I have a backstory with the postal service. My late father worked there for over 30 years. A lot of the different branches in the South Side, they've not been delivering mail uh to on a consistent basis. But, let me give you an update. I have
Okay.
had the opportunity to speak with the general manager of our local branch.
Right.
And he is really trying hard. I have to, give him kudos. He has a big task. I mean, to give you an example, I was expecting a package yesterday. The package wasn't there when I came back home. And I'm like, this package was expensive, Art, okay? So, we were talking yesterday because he had called me. He said, Miss Mason, I just want to let you know I'm on the case. I said, I know. I said, but that's why I got your email address, right? So I could keep you apprised because I let him know who he was dealing with, who he's talking to. Okay?
My
So,
Lord. My Lord. My Lord.
so
My Lord.
this
Okay.
morning, somebody ringing my bell. It was my next door neighbor to the left of me, or to the left of me. The package on my porch. I have to show you the photo. How it came. It was a rubber band supporting the box. It was opened. I got like, oh hell to the no.
Oh
So,
no.
and I've ordered some things. One of my items supposed to have been here a week ago has not arrived. I still haven't had the mail in 11 days now. So as I was chatting, discussing, like an auditor, because I will always be an auditor, right? I said, there are apparently some internal control gaps in the process. And I said, in order to manage my expectations as well as all of the residents here in this area, there's something needs to be said like, hey, we know they're short staffed. And here's the thing with the Postal Service. People who claim they have COVID, and I put that in parentheses, they decide they don't want to work.
Yeah,
Now, you and
I
I both know.
know. I've heard all the stories. I've heard the reasons. I even know people who work inside these places, and they've told me all the stories. But see, here's the deal: all of this stuff is going to eventually run out, and we're going to have to get back to normal. And eventually, this is going to become a sink or swim situation.
It is.
And so, people need to start preparing themselves now for the swim part of this. If not,
Right.
you will be sinking. And so, it's just, it is what it is, because you see how quickly this world is opening back up. You see how quickly it's opening back up.
And think about the Olympics, the Summer Olympics.
Right.
They're supposed to be open up, but they've been having cases of what? COVID in Japan. So now that may be in question. Either they're going to postpone it, they're going to totally say no, then Summer Olympics won't happen until 2024. So it's just not impacting us here in Chicago and the country. This still is impacting the world. And people need to just
it really
understand
is. It really, really is. You're absolutely right. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, I want to take a few moments out of the show. Kay Renee, by the way, great commentary tonight. Yeah, great commentary. I am blown away about this postal situation. You do know about the app where you can see what's coming to your mailbox, right?
Yes, and I'm signing up for that because
actually,
when I filed for the 27th complaint, the young lady. Yeah.
Thank you to my mail person. Okay.
The 27th complaint, the young lady suggested for me to get an app as well to sign up for those type of alerts. So I plan to do that. But because I now have a connection with the general manager, and again, kudos to him because he's a 25-year veteran. He just came on the job at our local branch since early April. So he's really trying to play catch up. And he was very honest with me, and I can appreciate that. I told him, I said, you and I, we're going to have a wonderful dialogue. When you're doing well, I will let you know. When you're not doing well, I'm going to let you know too. So I'm hoping, and I told him, I said, whatever I can do to help the Postal Service improve process improvements, that's what I do best. We can have a conversation. But I want, when it comes to my mail and my packages, as well as my neighbors, we need to make sure that we're getting our stuff. Ain't nothing like a really mad black woman.
Well, honey, y'all been mad for a long time, but that's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole. I digress. That's right. I digress. Lord, fix it, Jesus. Okay, so this coming Sunday, My fellow board members and good friends over at healthylivingwithavision.org will be hosting a conversation about lupus awareness. May is
Mm.
Lupus Awareness Month, and my dear friend and fellow board member, Miss Sherry Yvette Withers Banks, better known as the fabulous Miss Whitney Houston impersonator extraordinaire. This woman is just strikingly beautiful. I mean, when she's in the room, you would think it's Whitney. And so she's hosting this wonderful conversation Sunday, this coming Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. Go to healthylivingwithavision.org, healthylivingwithavision.org. More information about that wonderful event that's coming up on Sunday to talk about lupus. And Sherry, I need you to come on here one night and talk to us about lupus. We need to know more about lupus on this show. We really do. All
Well,
right. We love you
and
guys.
surprisingly, it affects Black women a lot more because I had a college mate who had lupus, and it's
Yeah.
just
Yes.
it's that type of condition where it's very insidious.
Yes.
Some people don't know they have it until it really progresses. So no,
Right.
that would be great.
Okay, very good. Well, Sherry, there you go. Go to healthylivingwithavision.org, healthylivingwithavision.org. Wonderful board that I sit on. Sherry also sits on the board, and we're going to have a conversation on this show one evening real soon before this month is over about lupus awareness. Okay. All right, very good. Kay Renee, what else we got in the gossip before our relationship expert joins us tonight? I know
Well,
you got some more stuff.
I don't know about
I just
gossip,
want to say
but
this, baby. You let the post office have it, girl. You just let the post office have it. We need to send this clip to the post office because you just let them have it. You just
well,
told them to take them stamps, lick them, and stick them where the sun don't shine. That's what
well,
you just told them.
well, I'm sure my beloved father is probably saying, "Thank you, Jesus. I reared her right."
Because, baby, you just told them, take them stamps, lick them, and put them where the sun don't shine. Is really what you said. And so I'm proud of you. I am. And no offense to you angry Black women out there, but y'all, when y'all get angry now, it really is like a bull in a china shop. It really
That's
is.
right.
Yep, it
That's
really
right.
is. Yep, that's why I eat out of paper and plastic cutlery.
I love you, babe.
Okay, I do have a Yeti cup. I do. I have a Yeti cup that keeps my beverage cold or warm. There
Well,
you go. All right.
interestingly enough, talking about won't say gossip, but in recent news, the hit NBC series, which I admit I have not watched, but I'm very happy. I know. I'm an action girl because one of my series is about to is last season 2, Queen of the South. But we'll talk about Queen of the South later. But This Is
Okay.
Us
This
is
is us.
This Is Us. This is
Right.
us.
Right. This is us.
Is
Yes, it
ending
is.
after its 6th season, and
Oh, God.
the quality of actors, Sterling K. Brown. I mean, I
Yes.
could go on. They just really have a great ensemble cast, and I probably one weekend when I'm out of town, sipping my Baileys, I'll probably binge upon This Is Us. But they're ending their series after 6 years.
Well,
So
man, if you had to bring anybody on this show to talk about This Is Us, it would be the legendary Miss Bonnie DeShong. Bonnie is such a fan of the show that we may have to have her on one evening for her to just be able to talk about it. Because
please.
I have talked to Bonnie, I talk to her just about every day, if not every other day, and I'll say, "Well, how are you this morning?" "Oh, I'm so down because," and she'll name one of the characters on the show. I'm not thinking, this is what it is. And then I go,
Right.
"Who is this? What relative is it?" "No, this is on This Is Us." I said, "Oh boy." Yeah, Bonnie loves This Is Us. She does. So I'm sure she's really upset about that.
And my podcasting sister, Kim Coleman, she loves it. She loves the series
Okay.
too. So,
Yes.
but no, great acting all the way around. It's nice when you see an ensemble cast. They do what they do, and they do it with what? Excellence.
Excellent. They do.
So,
Absolutely.
yes.
Well, speaking of announcements, of course, Ellen, we found out yesterday that after so many years, 18 years, Ellen,
she's going 19 seasons. Yeah.
right. She's going into her 19th season. That will be the absolute end. And so today, even with the major announcement about us not wearing masks, I was able to still catch the interview between she and Oprah. And she
Oh.
was just saying that, when she signed her last contract a few years ago, she kind of knew that was the last contract signing. And then the situation that she went through for 4 months straight of people saying
Mhm.
that the work environment was hostile and abusive and things like that, that took a toll on her as well, too. And so now she is gracefully exiting out. She has a million other products and things that she does, game show host, which she does a wonderful job, all of
Mhm.
that. I just think it's good. I love Ellen. I didn't
I
know
know
a
you
lot of
do.
people do not like Ellen. A lot of people, don't. I thought everything that she did for people, and she did it for all races of people.
Yes, she
Ellen
does.
probably has blessed more Black people than anybody I know.
Yes, she does, and she
You
has.
understand me? If
Yes, she
nothing
has.
else, Ellen has blessed Black people, people of all walks of life. But I have seen family after family of African American descent be blessed on
Mhm.
Ellen's show. So I mean, and then her making Twitch executive producer of the show, that gave him carte blanche to many things in the future. So I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I am the fact that I remember the day and this when she announced to the world that she was gay.
Right.
That takes bravery, that takes courage. And to have, this art being in the media, if you have a talk show that lasts 1 year, that's wonderful.
Oh,
But to
absolutely.
last 19 years, like Ellen, 25 years, like Oprah, it takes work.
Right.
Um, I'm sure what has happened in the past, recently, what she had to endure has taken a toll. But there's no such thing as a coincidence, no such thing as an accident. So as you said earlier, she has a lot of different projects on the horizon. She don't count her out yet. But you're also right, the fact that she's helped more members of the African American race. And
Right.
she has a wonderful special friend that she'll call anytime. Everybody can't pick up the phone and call First Lady Michelle Obama on a whim and say, "Hey, Michelle, what you doing?"
Right.
So
Right. Right.
let's keep it real here. As sad as a lot of people who watch Helen are, you got to think about that. This chapter is coming to a close. She's going to have a wonderful new chapter
Right.
ahead, and that's what happens in life. You have wonderful projects that you excel in, and then it's time to move on to something else. So that's why I look at it as it's okay. Um, she's doing something different. She's leaving with grace. That's the thing about it. When you leave something, leave with grace, leave
Grace
with
and
dignity.
dignity. That's right. Grace and dignity. I couldn't
That's
agree
it.
with you more. Absolutely.
Yes.
Grace and dignity. You're right about that. You are.
Hmm.
So, well, congratulations. Now, here's the latest gossip. Rumor
Oh.
has it that Tiffany Haddish is the number one contender to be her replacement. Now, please, ladies and gentlemen, do not send me hateful emails. Do not unfriend me. Do not, cast me to hell for any of this. But I don't know if I'm ready. I like Tiffany Haddish as a person. I actually have had the pleasure of having lunch with Tiffany Haddish here in Chicago at the Four Seasons Hotel. Tiffany Haddish is nice. I just don't know if I'm ready to watch Tiffany Haddish as a talk show host every day. I don't. It's just me, and let me say this so that I'm not, one sided or hate Black women, any of that. I don't think Kelly Clarkson is a great talk show host. Can she sing her ass off? Yes, she can. Kelly Clarkson, there's not a song Kelly Clarkson cannot sing. And I would go see her in concert now. I never in a million years thought I would go see a Kelly Clarkson concert, but I would. But is she a great talk show host? Hell no. Just like Steve Harvey wasn't a great talk show host. I felt like the Black man got his chance. Let's give the Southern young woman a chance. And now I guess we're going to go with Tiffany Haddish. I don't know. What are you all's thoughts? Put it in the comments.
Um, Tiffany has had a hard life.
She has.
She has had a very hard life,
Yes.
and her comedic talent is off the chart. I saw her on The View. Once she won a Grammy Award for a comedy album, and Whoopi was giving her kudos, which is wonderful. She's in a new movie with Billy Crystal, which is a very heartwarming movie. I can't wait. I like to see it because it talks about friendship and, Billy Crystal's one of her comedic idols, so that's nice that she's checked that off the bucket list. Um, and I'm going to reserve judgment, and I don't like to use that word, but I would like to see her first before I make an opinion, because I
Right.
think everyone should have an opportunity. If you have the opportunity to do a talk show, I mean, heck, Bethany Frankel, who a lot of people cannot stand,
Right. Right.
I met Bethany. That
Right.
woman is a marketing genius. She took that
Right.
skinny girl and just said, you know what I'm saying? But had a talk show. I'm like, Bethany Frankel, really? So
And see,
you
I never
have
watched Bethany Frankel's show. I never did. I
I
never did.
did. And of course, I saw on the Real Housewives of New York. So
Okay.
I think everyone should have an opportunity. Will she? I hope if she is the one that's going to be the heir apparent, let's give her a chance and see what happens.
Okay. We'll
But
see. We'll see. Because to
but
be a talk show host, it takes a great skill. It takes
yes,
you know what I'm saying? And the thing is that I get Tiffany. I love Tiffany. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if she'd be able to keep me captivated enough, because a lot of the things she does is slapstick humor. And when you really are talking to people and having in-depth interviews, a little slapstick is good, but I just think getting to know the person is even better.
not only that, you have to have a strong level of empathy. And that's one thing with Ellen. That's why she lasted as long as she had, because
Right.
she has what? That commonality, empathy.
Right.
I don't know, even though Tiffany, I said it a few seconds ago, she's gone through some hard times.
Yes.
So, maybe this is another side that people would like to see. But we will see. If that's the choice is going to be made, I'll give her a shot to see what she's made of.
Right. Well, I'll say this to you. When she did the program with the young people, the
Can't
kids,
say the little
darndest
darndest
thing,
things. Yeah.
I thought it was a little scripted and a little rehearsed, but of course, with children, you have to be like that.
Right.
We'll see. That's the same way. I don't understand that grocery store shopping show that Leslie Jones does. Like
Supermarket
yeah,
swap. I haven't seen it, and when I saw it and I saw her, I was like, okay, now you just giving something to a black woman just because she's black. That's how I felt when I saw one episode. I said, "Oh, you're just gonna give it to her because she's a black woman? Don't do that."
And look, she just screaming and hollering, just screaming and hollering.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
No.
Well, okay, all right. Well, with that being said, Kay Renee, anything else we need to bring up before we bring our guests in tonight?
I sent you an article. This happened earlier today, but apparently it didn't happen earlier. It was reported that a black mother and daughter needed an Uber ride.
Yeah.
Because their car broke down. And this white Uber driver used the N-word voraciously.
What?
And not only he used the N-word voraciously, he was threatening them, and she has it on tape. She recorded the driving experience or lack thereof. And of course now, because it was a long Uber ride, because their car broke down, they were in South Carolina, they had to get back home. And so when they finally reached the destination, he was being very antagonistic. He had a gun.
Whoa.
And I was just like, what the hell? So she now, as a result, what's going to happen. Lawsuit, we're getting Uber, the driver, everything else. And so, and, we take Uber. When I saw that, I said, dang, I just got out of Uber. I don't want to, now I got to deal with this. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, it literally, her and her daughter, they needed this Uber because they couldn't get any type of other transportation service, and to have a white driver using all these type of profanities to them, and before they got out, making the comment, we don't want you here in Aiken. It was Aiken, South Carolina, so I know, that's a red state. I felt for I felt for them.
I did too. My heart really went out when you sent that to me. It really did make me cry. I'm just concerned. You know, racism is rearing its ugly head now more than ever.
Yes.
I feel as if Uber does owe her an apology. If nothing else, give her free rides for the rest of
A
her life.
life.
Right, whatever the case may be. Also, some type of legal action needs to be taken against that driver because it was a very blatant case of racism at its best. And
Yes.
again, when you are a driver like that, you're supposed to pick up people of all race, creeds, colors. This is what you've signed up to do, is to be a driver and to accommodate people. So I cannot believe he would even take that tone and attitude with her, but he is definitely in the wrong in many ways. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And I think Uber needs to stand up and rectify this situation.
I will be following this story. Trust and believe that, because I mean, I was flabbergasted when I read it. And then to see the video, I was like, oh Lord, really?
Yeah.
We don't go there. We don't really go there.
It was quite a bit. It was more than we should have seen. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, darling, are you ready to shift gears?
Oh yeah, this is Relationship Thursday. I'm ready.
Now you sure? Are you sure you ready to shift gears?
I'm ready.
Have we seen Raquel in a minute? How's Raquel doing?
Raquel's been kind of on the down low right now because again, Renee is looking for other things. Raquel, she on the down low for the moment because.
Okay. So listen, Kay Renee is respected journalist, podcast host, audit and compliance businesswoman, all around great friend of Chat Daddies. I mean, Kay Renee is all of that. But every now and then, I want Raquel to come out. That's the Scorpio in me that wants Raquel to come out. I want her to have some fun. I want her to find a loving man.
I do.
I think our next guest tonight.
Remember, it's been how long, Art? I said this on the show before you were on hiatus.
Every time you say that, I cringe. I cringe and I pee on myself just a little bit because I couldn't imagine going 4 years without sex. I just couldn't. I cannot. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
a year was enough.
We're in tough times, baby.
Well, a year was enough for me. A year was enough. It was like I released this. Never mind. Let me get out of my feelings. Our next guest is going to talk to us tonight about flawed dating strategies. This Houston-based self-proclaimed relationship advice guy, author, social media influencer, and podcaster is a buddy of mine. We met a few years ago. He was a guest on the radio show. Now he's here on the digital show. I follow him on social media. And what's so funny about Mr. Terry Duran is that when him and his guys get together, they have that good old black man barbershop sex relationship. This is how it is. Him and one other guest that we have on the show are probably the realest guys I have ever met, and tell it like it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, or to this show, the one and only Mr. Terry Duran. What's up, brother?
Hey.
What's going on? What's going on, man? I appreciate you for having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Terry.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing this evening?
Oh man, I can't complain. I was looking forward to coming on. I enjoy my conversations with you.
Well, very good, Terry. It's been a while since we've talked, and I am very happy to have you back with us this evening. I want to talk about the flawed dating strategy, things that people do to actually not be able to get themselves into healthy, loving relationships. We've been in this pandemic for a year. People are very hesitant about getting back out there. What is the first thing that you want to tell us about improving our relationship?
Well, I wanted to start off by defining what I mean when I say flawed dating strategies. When I'm talking about a flawed dating strategy, I'm talking about a strategy or an approach to dating that is either rooted in false or inaccurate information and makes it very unlikely for a person to get the relationship goals that they want. So when I talk about people having flawed dating strategies, that's exactly what I mean. They're operating in a way that makes it almost impossible for them to ever achieve a healthy relationship or the relationship that they claim to want. And so I wrote down a list of just three things that I wanted to touch on. I know we didn't have a lot of time. But the first thing that I would say that I see going viral and is always brought to my attention is this concept of the one, right? The one this, the one will know, the one will just do this. It goes viral every week, it seems like. And that's a real myth that really doesn't represent the dating world in any real way. Anybody that has the qualities that it takes to be in a healthy relationship or to be a good husband, a good wife, a good parent, etc., they're compatible with several people, not just one, right? So fate and how you meet different people, all that comes into play, luck, timing, etc. But there's this idea that there's this one person in the universe and they love everything about you and you just got to meet them and y'all gonna be all good. That's the biggest one that I see a lot of people that end up getting hurt over.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Renee, what's your thought on what he just said?
There's some truth to that. I've never thought of a man as the one, but I would always like to think of a man as the one for me. And I would want to have those qualities that be able to attract not just one, but many.
Exactly.
So what do you feel about what she said, Tara?
I mean, to me that just means she's looking for somebody that she's actually compatible with. If you are compatible with somebody, you will feel like they're the one for me. It won't feel like something that you're forcing to happen, and it won't be a toxic, dysfunctional relationship.
Interesting. Because even if I apply this to my relationships, I have said I'm not the only one that know you great in bed. I'm not the only one that know you look good. I'm not the only one that know that your secrets and your fantasy. And so why is there such a shortage of people that only want to settle for one person? Nowadays, people can choose from a lot of choices.
I'd say the biggest reason is it's not natural. I think people are naturally drawn to like other people and go through different, every other relationship in our life, is transitional. We are capable of maintaining multiple relationships with different people. But I think a lot of people's selfishness and their insecurities don't let them really operate in a sense. In their feelings towards sex. They're terrified by the fact that their partner could be turned on or get sexually pleased by somebody else. And to me, it's kind of crazy because like I said, I was a hoe for a long time. And so that's the kind of lifestyle that a lot of people live, especially guys that are juggling multiple women. But women date those guys when they're single all the time. But they make it seem like, but they act like if they were in a relationship and somebody else was doing it, it'd be the worst thing ever. And it's like, nah, sis, that's really kind of what you've been doing majority of your adult life if you really think about it.
I said that. I've always said that if you slept with more than two people in your life, from where you are right now, you're really a whoremonger. Really, think about it. Okay, Renee, anything you want to say on to that?
When the moment he mentioned that, I thought of one word: polygamy. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think of polyamorous relationships? That's a topic that's been trending recently. So is that similar to what you're speaking of?
I think that lifestyle, in theory, would eliminate a lot of the conflicts that most monogamous relationships have. But a lot of people are hypocritical and selfish, so I don't think most people are really built for it. But in theory, if you're I had a polyamorous couple on my podcast a couple of months back, and it was crazy because the wife had multiple husbands, and her husband had 5 different girlfriends. And they were in the same house.
Wait, back up. What did you just say? She had multiple husbands.
Yeah, she had multiple husbands, and they were free to have other relationships with other people. and they didn't feel threatened, like they own property and they own a business together, so their lives together are secure. But I mean, they have their other people in the house with them. They interact with one another. They don't have sex with one another like that, like group sex or whatever. But they're open.
That you know of.
Yeah, I mean, but the way that they handle their relationship, they're super transparent. Like they actually described what it was like the first time they got married. They were monogamous at first, but they found themselves having crushes on other people. And instead of breaking up and fighting it over it, they discussed it and ended up deciding that that was the route that was best for them. So I think, I think for a lot of guys, they'd have to open up to the fact that they women would be able to free to do other things too. So I don't think a lot of guys could handle that. Their egos really ain't really built for that. And I just think the insecure nature of people in general, the fear that you're gonna get left behind or they gonna like the other person more, things of that nature. I think that would prevent a lot of people from exploring it.
Okay, real quick, a couple of you guys have mentioned about our audio situation. Terry is actually broadcasting to his vast audience, and so that's why we have the feedback. So Terry and I will try to limit our comments as much as possible, but Terry has a lot of great information. Now, Terry, what I wanted to say to you, that's interesting what you just said. Okay, go to point number 2 and we'll come back to that.
All right. Well, point number 2 I had is a lot of people want guarantees. They try to get in relationships where they get guarantees and assurances that things are going to turn out how they want them to. And I think that's something impossible because you can never predict the outcome of any dating situation. Dating is really fluid because you respond to what you experience with a person on a day-to-day basis. So at any given moment, somebody could say something or do something, or you could discover some information that ends your relationship. And so asking somebody to give you anything, any prediction about what's going to happen in the future, those are the type of things that make women pray for F-boys. Because they're going to tell her exactly what she wants to hear and play on that hopeless romantic perspective she has.
But see, now, Kevin, that goes back to your excellence. That goes back to your credit check. That goes back to your. You explain what you do best, K. Renee.
Well, as I said earlier, that I don't really look for perfection, but I look for excellence. And I think as you get older, there's just certain things that you thought when you were younger were the cat's meow. Now, not so much. One, respect should be a common trait that all, relationships, whether you're in your 20s or in your 60s, right? You should be able to communicate. And there's one thing I've always been, and there's one reason why, you asked me, Art, why haven't you really thought about dating? And I said, right now, that's not a priority for me, but I'm a woman who definitely is in touch with my sexuality. And unfortunately, a lot of men are very scared of that. And so if they are scared, then those are the men I don't want. And, for me, I look for people who are striving for excellence. As you said, all right, we're all works in progress.
Right.
In process, rather. But if you're striving for excellence in different areas of your life, you can tell that. But when you have that communication with someone, those are the individuals that I like, that I'm attracted to. And of course, from a sexual standpoint, again, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. I'm like, to me, if you can't talk about it, then you shouldn't be doing it. And
okay, so one of our viewers is Maria. Hey, Maria, I'm monogamous. I'm not interested in me or my partner, that I'm committed to having multiple relationships. There are men out here that match up with me for those that feel otherwise. I don't have a problem with matching up. Wait now, honesty, juggling, side hustle, and then juggling men. Oh, I got it. So she was like, she does not have time to be doing all of that. One committed, loving partner. I get that. But in this day and age, it seems as if there's a shortage of men, single men. It seems as if married people want to step out of their relationships more than anything in the last at least 2 years. And so, Terry, I'm curious to know what's the word on the streets nowadays as far as the availability of single men before you give point number three.
Well, I don't think there's necessarily a shortage of single men. There's a shortage of the single men women want. Those guys represent a small percentage of the overall population. And then when you factor in all other things like gay men, like that dwindle that number down, and a lot of those guys prefer being single. Being a bachelor for them is a really lit lifestyle that they can afford, that they can maintain, that's relatively stress free, and they'll always be able to get consistent time, attention, and sex based off they look, swag, and the things that they bring to the table.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of reasons why men prefer that over being in a committed relationship. Being married is difficult. It's very risky for guys that are making six figures and actually have money. That may not be, they may not have enough where they get a prenuptial agreement, but still, even if you make an 80K, having to pay somebody $1,500 a month because you broke up with them, that's significant. And so men think about stuff like that when they considering moving in with a woman or marrying one.
I agree with you 100%. I had a dear friend of mine tell me he's an older guy. He's an executive, looks really great, physically fit, all of that. He said, why would I settle down at this point in my life when I am able to have sex all over the world? And you're absolutely right. Nice looking black man, well spoken, polished, all of that. And he was like, wherever I am in the world, all I got to do is go to a bar, go out to dinner. He said a lot of times I met him on the airplane, whatever the case may be. He said, I have had some of the best times of my life all over the world. So I do get that. I do. I get that. Kay Renee, your eyebrow says a lot. You okay?
I think men want their cake and eat it too. So does women. I mean, that goes both ways. But the thing about when you get older, and given what we have gone through these last almost 2 years, I think you think your priorities are a little bit different. There's nothing wrong having great sex. There's nothing wrong with having great times. But at the end of the day, if you are in a crisis, for me, for instance, I would want that emotional support as well. And a lot of men are not willing to give that. So be honest with me about that. And I'm fine with that because, I've been happily divorced, Terry, for 13 years. And there's a reason for that. I'm very honest with men that approach me. The problem is when I'm that honest, they're like, well, I don't understand. Well, I'm telling you what I want. And if you
What are
don't
you
like
telling me
it,
you want?
it's okay.
Right. Terry, help me with this, Terry. Please help me, brother.
So
Help me, Terry.
what are you telling men that you want that is a deal breaker for them?
How about a little respect? How about the fact that you don't call me dear or baby when we first meet? I'm not your baby. When we first meet, I'm Karen or Miss Mason, right? I'm not your baby. That's a term of endearment that comes over time, right?
Well, that's more
Um,
of a preference, not a lack of respect. That's not they're not
well,
disrespecting you by
Well,
doing
here's
that.
the thing though, Terry. And then if you have a conversation, they're anticipating, well, when we're gonna get together to have I've had men say, well, I like to get together to F you. Well, that's nice, but I don't know you like that. So, you know, again, I have no problems with my sexuality and I don't mind saying it, but there's a thing like even though I am been a lot of people think I'm not traditional. I was raised to be a traditional person. So there's some things that I am accustomed to. And I like that comment, Miss Maria. Men are poor listeners because they want control. And that's very true. They don't listen. Whereas women, we do listen. A lot of men don't listen because they listen with their other head. Not top head, but the other head. So sometimes you need to listen with up here and not down there.
Oh
Well,
boy, Terry, please help me. Please respond.
well, I mean, everybody has their own preferences or what they deem to be respectable or appropriate. But the way that I would look at it, If after several years none of the people that you meet are really in line with what you're doing, to me, I would question what I'm doing. Like, is it too strict? Is it unrealistic? Is it impractical? And so a lot of women don't really consider those things when they look at the way that they want men to approach them the way that they want it to happen. And unfortunately, it really don't work like that. In any market, the consumer, you can't really dictate to the consumers how they have to approach shopping. And when it comes to dating and relationships, men are the ones that approach women. Most women are not
Right.
shooting they shot at guys. They're not putting themselves out there to be rejected. So unfortunately, they're creating the marketplace, but they're waiting for the man to approach them or ask them out. And so a lot of times they're just putting themselves in a position where they're never going to be chosen, but based off the requirements that they have.
Whew. Okay. All right. Okay, Renee, any response to that before he gives us point number three?
I'm going to hold off my response.
Okay. All right, Terry, you're doing a great job, brother. All right, let's go with point number three you want to deliver tonight. Good
Well,
job.
that kind of piggybacks on what I was gonna say. I was gonna say point number three was the Cinderella approach, where their women have this idea of Prince Charming or this guy that they envision is gonna come along, sweep them off their feet, approach them the way that they want to be approached, say the things they want to say, and it's not really like that. Like anybody you talk to about relationships, talk about the importance of compromise. So since men are so used to compromising with women, oh, you don't like that, so he's going to adjust how he handles things. A lot of women are really selfish in that regard, and they want things to happen the way that they want it to happen. And that's why you see so many questions about timelines. When's this supposed to happen? How long should a man wait? Like they already have it mapped out what they in their minds what they expect out of men, and that's not realistic or practical at all. Most guys, at least the ones that are successful women, know that it takes time to know whether you want to marry a woman or not. And they're not in a rush to make that decision. So a lot of women eliminate themselves from ever getting married because they try to force the process, or their expectations of how it's going to happen don't really align with reality.
Well, okay. There's nothing I can say to that because I pretty much agree with that. I really do. I know most people would be shocked and surprised, but I do think that way and agree with a lot of the situations that are going on. And I really do feel bad for the number of women that I know that don't have a man or have not found the right one. And if we really look at our mothers and grandmothers, they had men and were married for umpteen years. Most of today's women will never be able to say, I was married 25, 30, 40, 50, 60 years if they're in their 50s, late 40s, 50s, and 60s and never been married. So I feel bad, but a lot of what he's saying has been true for quite a while. Okay, Renee, I see a lot of angst in your face, my friend. You okay?
No, I'm good. And actually, what Terry's saying is true because, again, I said earlier that I come from a traditional household. And, we read those storybooks, right? Those fairy tales. Prince Charles, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella. So, you think about that. And this is what, when you have conversations with your mom, your grandmother, you want to meet that Prince Charming. Well, unfortunately, that is can be a misnomer. And I think nowadays there has to be some communications with between men and women and women, men and men about what you're looking for, so that way you can manage your expectations, right? Because I can honestly tell you, Terry, had I known then what I know now, I probably would not have married my ex-husband.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why we are divorced. Again, I'm happily divorced, so I'm okay with that. But for my next relationship, right now for me, I just have different priorities. For I would like to be in a loving relationship. I like to be, have a companion. But because I've gone through what everyone in life goes through, I think about things differently. Now, don't get me wrong. And Art, every time I say this, Art cringes. But again, I like sex like anyone else. But one thing I do know about that, you better be careful who you have sex with, because when you
Very
have
true.
sex, that essence, you leave it with someone else and they leave it with you. So, and having that means I've had the experiences to know whoever I'm going to engage in that type of intimate relationship with, I want to be able to like him. I want to be able to respect him. I want to be able to have fun with him at the end of the day. Because if I can't have those three, I have something at home that I take care of myself on a regular basis. So
I'm not old enough. I'm not old enough. Please, I'm not old enough.
You want it, Raquel, darling. Raquel is coming
I'm
out.
not old enough. I'm not old enough. Lord, fix it, Jesus. Okay, so Watika put a comment up. She says they forget that women are man's gift, not the other way around. But we are in a world now where
that's not how men view it.
Right.
None of the men that women want to be with feel like they're lucky to have an attractive woman that wants to be with them. Think about it like this. If the men that women want to be with, if their biggest issue, their biggest struggle is being faithful to one woman or settling down with one woman, why would he ever feel like I'm so lucky to have a woman? Like that's another kind of mythological concept that women kind of place on men. Men don't necessarily feel like they're God's gift to women or anything like that, but the men that got their stuff together realize they're rare. They realize that they have a lot of options to choose from. They're not struggling. They're not going decades without being in relationships or none of that. Their problem is they have an abundance of women that want to be with them. So they're doing something right, and they have the credentials that the women obviously desire. So they're not going to ever have that gift perspective.
Let me tell you when I learned that, Terry. I was a flight attendant for the last airline I flew for, and I'm talking about this was the late 90s. And I said that then, when I saw the magnitude of Black men that were climbing the corporate ladder, that were flying, that were getting great jobs, that were doing whatever, even some of the men that I met and became friends with. And I said to myself, these Black men nowadays are able to have whatever they want, as much as they want, as little as they want, as whatever it is, they can now pick and choose whatever the fetish, fantasy, desire, whatever. And I think that has been a tremendous damper on Black relationships, Black, whether male, female, same sex, whatever. I think that the Black man really does hold the power in a relationship now.
Yeah, well, I don't think most guys make it their decision to settle down off of fetishes or anything like that. I think ultimately the biggest decision maker on guys on whether they will see something serious with a woman is how enjoyable is it to date her? How much conflict is it? You know what I'm saying? How many rules do she got? How many expectations? Like, those are the things that make a dude be like, nah, I'm good on that. I wouldn't want to make that my permanent household. And so he's you cool enough to kick it with. He's gonna show you a great time. He meet all your boxes. You gonna be viewing him thinking y'all getting closer to marriage just because he treats you well or he take you places and do nice stuff. But if he never views you as somebody he want to settle down with, it's a wrap.
Wow. K. Renee, in closing, what do you want to say to our guest this evening? Boy, as they say, if an expression can represent 1,000 words, you're right. I'm just curious to hear what you have to say at this point.
Well, Terry, first and foremost, thanks for coming on to the show. Thanks for this dialogue. I have learned a lot in hearing your perspective. I hope you get a chance to come back.
Anytime.
We can definitely get more in deep with, there is some truth to what you're saying. I think we're living in a different world versus 40 years ago because the expectations then were different, right? So I just, continue with your truth. As I said, it definitely was eye-opening.
See, and that's, I told you he was a great guest. I told you, when he hit me up, I said, you know what, I need to have Terry Duran on. And I said, nobody can work through this better than K. Renee because I see the wheels turning. I appreciate your candidness, K. Renee, but Terry Duran speaks to me, for a lot of men out here. He speaks what a lot of men are feeling and thinking, and that's why he's become the social media superstar he has, because he really does put it in truth. Terry, in closing, what do you want to say to everybody? And please tell them how they can follow you and all that great stuff.
Oh man, I just want to say thanks for coming on, having me on, man. I really appreciate you put me on a platform. Like I said, I always enjoy talking to you and sharing my perspective to try to help people have better dating experiences. They can read you can find me at my website terryduran.com or on Instagram at terryduran. And I just want to let everybody know I just released a new book. I wrote a book called Forensics of Cheating. Where it breaks down. Yeah. I co-wrote this with Dr. Andre Blaylock. So you get my perspective and you get a doctor's perspective on the mindset of a cheater, the thought process, what makes them decide to cheat, and what makes a person decide to stay faithful. It's available on Amazon in paperback and Kindle. So I definitely recommend y'all check that out. It's called
Now that is from a man's perspective, right? Not a female's perspective.
Yes, it's from a man's perspective.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so look, Terry, I'm gonna add an extra piece of cheese on this burger tonight. Let me know when you all want to come on this show to have that conversation.
Oh,
let's do that. That's a whole, here's the deal. I'm starting a new series on this show called Love Hurts. And if you and your guests would love to come on one evening, I would love to talk about at least 5 points in that book of what we need to understand. And I guarantee you we have 1 million people trying to watch us that night, because that is something we really do need to talk about, the cheating thing. Yes.
Amen.
All right, I'll make it happen, man.
Okay, we'll make that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Mr. Terry Duran, based out of Houston, Texas. What I appreciate about Terry, everyday regular guy who's had life experiences, but he really has become what I consider a guru on street knowledge of relationships, street knowledge. And that's a whole different thing. A lot of us live in the fairy tale world. We live in this, oh, I'm so bougie, I'm so bad. No, you want the DICK just like everybody else. You want the yum yum just like everybody else. And I don't care how bougie you are, you still have everyday relationship issues. I don't care who you are. Black, white, gay, straight, whatever it is, you have everyday relationship issues. You do.
Very true.
Terry, God bless you, my friend. Continue to stay well, and let's have that cheating segment very soon, okay?
All right, y'all be cool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our good friend, the one and only Mr. Terry Duran. Oh, wait, Terry, they saying excellent job. Wait, before we let you go, they said excellent job. Yep. Yes, Maria, we love you. Right. Let me put her other comment up there before you go. She said, "Will the book help me to be a better cheater?" She said, "Will it help her to be a better cheater?" Right? Who knows, darling? We're having that second soon. We do. All right, Terry. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, brother. Have a great night. All right. See you later. That was excellent. The one and only Mr. Terry Duran. Hey, Maria, we love you, baby. We do. Well, K. Renee, boy, if nothing else, your eyebrows tell a lot, and your eyes. Right, baby, you gave us Elizabeth Taylor several times in that interview.
The eyes are the mirror to the soul, Art, so you know.
Well, look, I saw all down in your esophagus from the man was saying. I did. I saw all down in your esophagus. So listen, what did you think about all of that?
I think he was very real. I mean, there are some points I thoroughly agree on. There were some truths that I was like, okay, wasn't ready to hear, but I can appreciate and respect that.
Right.
It's a different world now than it was when we were in our 20s, right? It's just different. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people are not want to be honest. And I think that's what I took from his conversation. Now sometimes you can read me like a book, Watika. Not always, but sometimes. Not always. There's a level of honesty that a lot of people are not willing to go. I think that's what I took from his talk. People are not willing to be that honest. And because of that, that's when problems can arise.
Right.
So
Well, honey, look, all I know is he speaks for this new demographic out
he
here.
does.
If anybody is trying to get back out in this dating pool, I don't care what age you are.
Right.
If that man speaks for this new demographic and how
I
they
agree.
think and how they think.
I
And I
agree.
just know, with me, I prefer dating younger. I prefer dating, I need to know where they are with their heads in this day and age. And that's why he has really become one of my favorite interviews. Him and Leon. I just like guys that tell it like it is.
Oh, of
And
course.
their humility and shame is all rolled into one. I love
Absolutely.
somebody with humility and shame all at the same time.
That's
I
a
do.
rare trait to have, because a lot of people don't have that, because
Yeah.
they're not willing to be that vulnerable. And I think that's
Right.
what the issue is. And as I said, that's what I took from Terry's talk tonight. That you really have to be
Right.
honest with yourself and what you want and who you want. If you're not
Right.
honest, then you get what you get.
Yeah, no. And as I told you, nothing is more to me stimulating mentally than humiliation and shame.
I
Right.
agree.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. All right. Well, with that being said, darling, anything else we need to cover? We've covered a lot
Whew.
tonight.
I'm gonna get.
Yes, Maria, you are
I'm about to
absolutely
drink
right,
some
there,
wine
darling.
tonight.
Maria said true. Honesty is key.
It's
Look,
key.
right. You gonna have a little wine tonight?
I'm gonna have some wine tonight. Normally I don't have no wine on Thursday night. I'm gonna need some wine tonight, God dog it. Because I mean,
I told you.
the one thing, as I said, it allowed me to look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, what do you want? I mean, I will say this, Art. I'm grateful that I had the experience of being married, and now that I am single and I have control of what I want and who I want. But as I said, there are just certain priorities that take precedent right now.
Right.
Having a relationship, not to say I wouldn't want it, it's not going to be the top priority of, as Leon would say, I know what my season is. And I think that's the question determine when you're communicating with that individual that you have an interest in, what season is this individual in? And if he or she is in your season, then guess what? The communication will continue. If he's not, it's
Well,
okay.
yeah, well, that's just like I told you about the ex that called me out the blue, just called me out the blue and was so complimentary, and I just need to see you tonight. And I kept saying, need to see me tonight. I like, you gotta be kidding me. So the needing to see me tonight made me think, oh Lord, you coming over here for that kind of evening? And when they did get over here and it was nothing but foolishness and shenanigans, I couldn't get them out of my house quick enough. You get what I'm saying? Because guess what? No, we are not on the same page. I don't
Right.
give a damn how great you think I look and how you feel about me, all of that. No, I'm good. Keep it moving.
That's
Keep it
right.
moving. Yes.
And
Yes. Okay.
and in that time, that's when you can get you together, right? If they're
Right.
individuals that they're not in your season, they deal with the foolishness and shenanigans that you spoke of, it's okay.
Right.
Because you have
Right.
wisdom now, because we're at a certain age now. We're not in our 20s
Yeah.
kicking and want to, carefree. Nothing wrong with being carefree. I like being carefree, but I want to be carefree, cautiously carefree, if that's the word.
Right. Right. Okay. Very good. Well, coming up tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, my good friend and co-host, the one and only Miss Kay Renee, and her podcast sister, Miss Kim Coleman, Sister Girl Speaks, will be having their Friday night edition of their podcast. Darling, what is the situation with the situation?
Well, the situation tomorrow night actually is going to be an encore performance. We're going to be
Okay.
featuring one of our first shows, Miss Angel Gaines, who's a comedian from Los Angeles, and she talks about how it's a great segue about dating, and she's by her being alpha female, how hard she's had it in that space. So if you get a chance, we're going to re-air that episode tomorrow night at 9:00. And Candid
Wow.
Conversations
Very
with
good.
K and K.
Oh my God, how wonderful. That is really, really good. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. All right, so make sure you guys check them out on Facebook. How can they get connected with you again on Facebook?
They can reach me many ways. Instagram, Karen's Nuggets, Karen's _Nuggets. Facebook, you can go to my Facebook page at Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. You can go to our Facebook page, Candid Conversations with K and K. Facebook, K Renee Mason. And before we leave, I'm gonna have 2 nuggets for you tonight because they're so powerful. I posted them today. First one, which
you ready to drop nuggets, babe?
I'm ready to drop some nuggets. The first nugget
drop them nuggets, babe.
I'm gonna drop some nuggets tonight. First is haters don't really hate you. They hate themselves because you're a reflection of what they wish to be. This is Tell Like It Is Thursday, honey. And then my final nugget, which is a nugget that I created. And if we talk about dating and stuff, this is definitely apropos. When it comes to human behavior and people unmasking themselves, I believe in patterns, not apologies. And again, this is Tell It Like It Is Thursday. Hashtag, whoop, drop that mic. Hashtag, what patterns are you displaying? There you go.
There you go. Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge is where you can find her more information. Look, both of them was dropped the mic. Look, I just want to take this expensive mic and just drop it, but I can't.
Drop that mic.
Okay, no, this is an expensive mic. This is a
Don't do that. That's all right. Just take a pen and drop that. How about that?
Yeah, right. Let me drop my hair scrunchie. Right.
Drop that. There you go.
Let me drop that hair scrunchie. Yes. All right. So yes, with that being said, so listen, this coming Saturday at 10 a.m., I am co-hosting as well as I was one of the judges for Alderman Brookins of the 21st Ward here in the city of Chicago is doing a curb beautification contest. I'll be doing that on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and I'm honored to be a part of this wonderful judging of all of these beautiful lawns these people have sent in, or they want their lawns beautified, I should say. Beautiful letters written by neighbors or people of the community of the 21st Ward. So I'm looking forward to that. And then at 11 a.m., there are still seats available for this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. It is the Insider Secrets to Successfully Booking Your Brand, Product, or Organization to the media. A lot of you guys may not have publicists. You may not have the money for a publicist. And a lot of you all are really good people, have great books, products, services, you name it. But a little tweaking and polishing will make you just a little bit more presentable to who you may want to present to. And so Saturday, it's an hour and a half long seminar. It starts at 11 a.m. Central Time. And I will be talking to you about things that you need to do to get your brand out there just a little bit more. K Renee, what were your thoughts about being a part of the first class?
Again, it was a master class. I really appreciated your honesty. You talk about humility. Guys, if you want to get this class, Art he has a way of talking to you about how to build your brand. Come from lighting, what you need to say, how you can say it in a short amount of time, because brevity is key in this day and age. So he really talks about that and just gives you some real life experiences. So I thoroughly enjoyed his master class. I wish I had my glasses on because then I'd be like, class will be in session, ladies and gents, on Saturday, May the 15th.
Yes. And included in this class, if you are a paid participant, I also give you a 30-minute free coaching session where I even give you an assignment, show you what you need to do, how you need to do it. I even critique the assignment, and you can use this assignment to also promote your business as well, or to do other promotional material to help get your business out there. So if you've been doing videos that are choppy, bad, not what you want them to be, I'll help you to work your way through that. So it's not too late for you to get booked for Saturday. In order to get a seat, you need to email booking, BOOKING at therealchatdaddy.com. Again, that's booking, BOOKING at therealchatdaddy.com. $125 per person, but I guarantee you it's worth every dime you'll spend. All right.
Yes, it is. Most definitely.
All right. Most definitely, darling. Most
Most
definitely.
definitely. Yes.
May is National Suicide Prevention Month. Well, no, I'm sorry. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. But if you know of anybody who is struggling and they feel suicidal, please make sure you pass this information along. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That's National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. All right, darling. Have we covered it all? We will be wearing our mask until Juvember of
Juvember. That's
2025.
right.
Baby, I like wearing a mask now.
And for those individuals who, if you want to get together with someone, they can be very sexy.
It is. It's sexy to me.
Hey,
Look.
that's a
Yes,
different
I'm
look.
telling you, I had an escapade. I had on my mask. I love it. I do. Yes, I do, honey. I love it. Says be kind, heifers. Be
That's right.
kind. Right.
That's right.
Right. Do we say heifer? No, it just say be
That's
kind. Be kind. Right. But I'm gonna get one that said be kind, heifer. That's all
Okay.
right. Okay? Yeah, that's what we say. But yeah, look, guys, the CDC has dropped the mask mandate. Some of y'all nasty. I done seen fluids and juices fly out your mouth. I done seen,
Ugh.
oh my God, I've seen
Ugh.
people sneeze and it just made me fall to my knees. So no, And again, still gonna be using Lysol, still gonna be using
That's right.
Clorox, still gonna be using hand sanitizer. I love it. I really do. I'm addicted
Me
to it
too.
now. Yeah, and look, I'm grabbing it on sale at places like
Oh, you and me both. I just bought like 3 things of hand sanitizer. I said, oh no, we keeping this on stock.
I love it.
That's
I
right.
love it. I feel so clean. I really
Yes.
do. I really do. Yes. What are we gonna do with you, Art? Oh, Maria, I love you so much. I do, honey. I do. Right. Be kind, heifers. That's what I want the mask to say. This the PG version, but I really do want to say, please be kind, heifers. Right. And this one says be bold. You know I'm bold. I'm like hot sauce. Right. Can you get Lysol? Yes. Look, Debbie, let me tell you, honey. Costco has the 3 cans of Lysol now. I bought some at Christmas. I bought some at Christmas. I didn't know you need some, K. Renee, but no,
I do. I'm gonna need some Lysol, honey.
I'm gonna tell you the funniest thing.
So I'm gonna need some Lysol.
Before I left the radio, the end of March, early April, one of the drugstores had buy one, get 2 free, or buy one, get 1 free, whatever the case may be. And I bought a bunch of stuff then, just period, because I'm that type of person. So during the beginning of this pandemic, I had 6 or 7 cans. And if I knew somebody was in need or whatever. And then at Christmas time, Costco, they had it in the back of the store. They weren't advertising or promoting it or anything. Matter of fact, I was in the Lincoln Park store. And I said, wait a minute, is there 3 cans of Lysol? And you could only buy 1 can at a time. You know my behind went in that store 2 or 3 times. Now you girl, you know.
No, that's right.
You know Lysol Larry went in there 3 times. Right.
Okay.
Look, I put my hair up one time so they wouldn't recognize me. I put a hat on one time, everything. Right. Lysol Larry went in there 3 times and got the Lysol. Lynn Klein, we love you, Lynn Klein. We do. How you doing, Lynn? Absolutely. That's our good friend Lynn, who went to Luther South, but she lives in Wisconsin now. We just love Lynn. We do. All right, so we'll be back on Monday night. Another great show planned for you guys. I got a lot of great things in the works. Kay Renee, say good night to everybody, darling.
Good night, all. Have a safe, fun weekend. Be safe. It's up to you. If you're not vaccinated, you have the option now. But in the interim, please still wear the mask. Wear the mask.
I know. I just know in public places, I will definitely be wearing a mask. I will. Yeah. Grocery store, big box places. I have no problem with wearing a mask in any of those particular places. I don't. And if you tell me once I sit down, I can take it off, that type of thing, I will. But I don't know. That's just my, fear and intrepidation right now. So, all right. For more information about yours truly, please visit therealchatdaddy.com, therealchatdaddy.com. That's where you can find out more information. All right. We love you guys so very much. You guys have a safe and wonderful weekend.
Yes.
We used to say wear your mask, sanitize, social distance. We don't say that much anymore, but in our hearts, we want you guys to stay safe and healthy and do what's necessary. All right. On behalf of Kay Renee, yours truly, Art Chat Daddy Sims, I appreciate you guys so very much. God bless you. Have a wonderful night, and we will talk to you guys on Monday. All right. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble.
Guys.
We love you guys. We out of here. We out of here.
Bye.
Bye. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show.